In Capital News tonight, the government has called on the private sector to look for investment opportunities in the standard gauge railway projects. An inspection operation in Mwanza finds many vehicles unroadworthy. And in sports, Tanzania's swimmers pledged to win at the World Swimming Championships in Australia. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. The Minister of Works and Transport, Professor Makame Mbarawa, has called on the private sector to look for investment opportunities in the standard gauge railway SGR project that is being constructed from Dar es Salaam to Mwanza. Minister Professor Makame Mbarawa made the statement during a tour of the construction project with members of CCM's General Assembly who comprise of chairperson from 32 regions of Tanzania mainland and Zanzibar.
Mheshimiwa Rais toka ameingia kwenye madaraka, reli hii anajenga kilomita 1370. Kilomita 1370.
Since Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan took office, she has constructed 1,380 meters rail. If that is not all, soon we shall sign a contract with Burundi.
Kwamba anafanya kazi kubwa Mheshimiwa Rais. Hajasimama hapo tu, anaenda mbali. Sasa unaenda kuifungua Tanzania na Burundi.
Lakini naomba nikiri, itakapokamilika hii itasaidia sana.
Once this rail is complete, it will help in increasing the number of rail users and those transporting goods, not only in Tanzania, but soon enough, the rail will connect with Burundi, Rwanda and DRC.
Kwamba kwa mujibu wa makubaliano tulionao ndani, kwa sababu sasa ni mtambuka hili swala. Tunaanzia kwamba tunataka tuanze lini afu tunarudi nyuma. Kuna vitu hapo katikati kufanyia kazi. Wenzetu lateral, lakini sisi wenyewe vile vile kuna vitu tunatakiwa kuna kumalizia kufanya fencing. Kuna sehemu zingine tunatakiwa tuweke overpass. Kwa sababu train ile ina uwezo kusema kwa tukakatiza kama ile ya zamani. Lazima tuwekee watu njia za kupita.
Islam Main Registry has postponed the case opposing expulsion from Chadema party filed by 19 special seats members of parliament until 6th of March 2023 because the party's advocate Peter Kibatala had failed to appear in court as he was attending to cases on special court meetings in Mwanza. In July this year, Advocate Peter Kibatala had requested the court to question 8 special seat members of parliament out of 19 on their sworn oath submitted at the court. The 8 special seat members of parliament include Grace Tendega, Nusrat Hanje, Cecilius Pareso, Hawa Moifunga, Esther Matiko, Esther Bulaya, Jessica Kishoa, and Halimamde. Now, moving on, Said Maringo, a resident of Nyabichune, Nyamongo village in Tarime district, Mara region, has been arrested after conducting mining activities at Barrick Gold Mine, as well as mining minerals inside his house. Said Maringo was arrested during an inspection tour by the Deputy Minister of Minerals, Stephen Kiruswa, at informal mining areas.
Ni mmoja wa wachimbaji wasio rasmi ambaye amekuja kuchimba mashimo ya kuvuna dhahabu.
He is one of informal miners who dug inside his compound near Barrick Mine's wall. After evaluations were done, he has dug about 150 meters near the investor's title. Today, we have discovered that apart from the big hole, there are 10 more holes, that some are active while the rest are dormant. On the inspection day, he ran away.
Fidia ndio ilikuwa ndogo mpaka ikawapelekea wasichukue fidia. Ni kweli kwamba shughuli zinafanyika lakini hususan kama Nyamongo.
In Nyamongo, we have no land for cultivation activities. Since Nyamongo residents, there are no bigger farms for farming. What we know best is mining activities.
Now, the police force in Mwanza region has conducted an inspection operation on 108 vehicles that discovered only 10 of the vehicles were roadworthy, where 29 that include cargo lorries were grounded, being measures aimed at reducing road accidents in the region.
We mmiliki na dereva kuruhusu gari bovu kutembea barabarani.
It is a crime for police officers to allow vehicles to be on the roads without any inspection. In the evening, nobody cares for safety of people and their assets. That is totally unacceptable. Please change your behaviors.
Zoezi hili ni endelevu kwenye mkoa huu wa Mwanza na tutalisimamia.
This is a sustainable operation in Mwanza region. It is our hope that this will reduce road challenges. This can be caused by vehicles in bad conditions.
Mabovu.
Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM's National Executive Council has approved nomination of President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan as the candidate to vie for the post of National Chairperson of CCM and nominated Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi as the candidate for Vice Chairperson of CCM Zanzibar and Abdul Rahman Kinana as the Vice Chairman of CCM Mainland, where the names will be presented at CCM's General Assembly on 7th and 8th of December this year to elect leaders who will lead the party in the next 5 years.
Na kwa bahati nzuri, kabla ya kikao hicho, mwenyekiti wa Chama cha Mapinduzi na Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania Daktari Samia Suluhu Hassan alifanya ziara fupi katika ukumbi ambao utafanyika mkutano mkuu, na kwa kweli ameridhishwa kabisa na hali ya maandalizi. Kwa hiyo Daktari Samia Suluhu Hassan atapelekwa kwenye mkutano mkuu kesho kwa ajili ya kupigiwa kura na wajumbe wa mkutano mkuu na hatimaye aweze kuchaguliwa kuwa mwenyekiti wa chama kwa kipindi ama kwa muhula huu ambao nimeuainisha.
Hundreds of residents from Zibia village in Maswa district, Simiyu region, will start to access reliable water after the government built a dam with the capacity of filling up 90,000 cubic meters of water.
Nashukuru sana kutuletea kisima cha maji. Namshukuru Samia.
I'm grateful for our president for her support in this water source and other development activities. We were struggling in accessing water for cattle.
Na tumefanya kazi yetu tukakamilisha.
We have done our job and submitted on time. This dam was in construction for some time now. We expect to fill the dam with 950,000 liters.
Uwezo wa takriban lita 4.5.
The Immigration Department has deported an Iranian national, Hamidreza Mohammed Abrahe, after it was discovered his involvement in various international offenses, including that of terror.
Hapa tunavyoongea, mtu huyo hapa anapandishwa ndege kurudi kwao. Waliokosa uzalendo basi kuishi kwao hapa mjini wamejikita katika kuwasaidia wageni kutafuta nyaraka feki au za kugushi ili watu hao waendelee kupata vibali vya kuwepo na kufanya kazi hapa Tanzania, huku wakiratibu matendo yao maovu yanayohatarisha usalama wa watu wetu na wale wageni walioko hapa Tanzania wakiwa halali kabisa na walioko tayari kufuata taratibu za nchi kadri zinavyoelekeza.
The Minister of Livestock and Fisheries, Mashimba Ndaki, has said the government is implementing a plan that aims to revolutionize the livestock sector that includes crossbreeding in order to improve the quality of livestock and for livestock keepers to commercialize livestock keeping.
Kiasi mwaka huu wa fedha tunataka tuimilishe ng'ombe 373,000.
In this financial year, we want to accomplish the target of distributing 333,000 cows in the whole country, so that we end up getting cross-breeding cows that can boost the volume of milk produced in the country. If we continue rearing cattle in traditional methods, land conflicts shall never end in this country.
Mradi huu unatarajiwa kutumia bajeti ya fedha za Kitanzania shilingi bilioni 1.4.
This project is expected to use 1.4 billion shillings in buying 300 modern cows for dairy, 600 pigs, 400 chicken. Our call to you, Honorable Minister, that some of purchased cattle should come from government.
Tunaomba serikali iruhusu madume bora yaliyokusudiwa hayo 10 tunayohitaji katika mradi huu yanunuliwe katika mashamba ya serikali.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows up next. Welcome back, and in international news. The Democratic Republic of Congo has said 272 civilians were killed in a massacre in the eastern town of Kishishe last week, raising the death toll from the previous estimate of 50. The new death toll was announced by the Minister of Industry, Julien Paluku, with the government spokesperson, Patrick Muyaya, saying that among those killed were children at an Adventist church and hospital. M23 rebel group has denied responsibility, calling allegations that it had targeted civilians baseless. The East African Community Peace Facilitator, former President of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, has said that there will be no more peace talks in Nairobi on restoration of security in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and that instead they will take place in Goma. Uhuru Kenyatta made the statement while closing a 7-day peace dialogue that concluded with sealing of various issues that include the unconditional release of prisoners with no criminal records of atrocities.
Well, let's say we are happy with the progress. We are not saying we have completed everything, but we have managed to achieve some milestones in terms of specific issues that either will be undertaken by the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo and other aspects that will be completed by some of the delegates that are here. And we have agreed that we will have a follow-up meeting, and that is why we were saying that all parties should sign the communique, so that every party takes responsibility for the items that fall under their particular responsibility. So I must say that we have made progress, and I'm hopeful that when we meet again in Goma, which is the place, and we have said that that should happen between January and February, we should be able to report progress on the items that have been agreed upon here, and then engage into some of the more medium-term and long-term agenda items that require time when we meet at our next meeting.
And we're happy that today we can see that we made a lot of progress, because we started somewhere, Nairobi 1 in April, then we had Nairobi 2 where we engaged with armed groups and leaders of the civil society, and today you see most of them here. They maintain the ceasefire. They allowed humanitarian activities to happen in the regions under their control. Today, through the communique, you saw that they're all committed to release what we call child soldiers, and at the same time they're all ready to continue participating to the PDDRCS program, which is a program of disarmament, demobilization, reintegration into our communities and stabilization.
Polls have opened for the United States Senate runoff election in Georgia, a tight race that has drawn a record number of early voters. On Tuesday, the Georgia electorate will decide whether to send incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock or his Republican opponent Herschel Walker to Washington to be sworn in with the new Congress in early January. Neither candidate managed to win a majority of the votes in last month's midterm race, which brought the contest to a runoff. November's midterm elections saw the Democrats narrowly lose control of the House of Representatives, but they retained a slender majority in the Senate. And that is the end of international news. Business news follows up next after the break. Welcome back, and in business news. Tanzania-Zambia oil pipeline Tazama will start to transport refined oil instead of crude oil after an agreement was signed between the Minister of Energy from Tanzania and the Ministers of Energy and Defense from Zambia that aims to strengthen security along the pipeline.
Be able to ensure its security of supply of fuel and to put to use this very important legacy investment that was put in place by our forefathers. Tanzania, as part of the Tazama project, and the pipeline being, for the most part, on the Tanzanian side, we are interested and also responsible and also duty-bound to make sure that the ambition and the decision of Zambian government is fully realized. So we have had 2 days of meeting.
Zambia has moved away from refining crude petroleum products due to the fact that our refinery cannot compete with refineries the big refineries in the world, and there was so much subsidy that was put into the refinery, and our government right now is moving away from providing subsidy to the refinery and petroleum products. That is why we thought that the easiest way, and to mitigate the rising cost of petroleum products, we need to use the pipeline for finished products.
We are aware that previously this pipeline carries crude oil, and crude oil was not as attractive as the finished product. As soon as we have a finished product, there will be a lot of kafafa on that line, okay? So we need to protect it, and this is why we have come.
Tanzania Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture TCCIA in Manyara region has called on Tanzania Revenue Authority TRA to create a conducive environment in order to address the problem of tax evasion.
There are traders that have the entrepreneurs' cards worth 20,000 shillings, while their sales are more than 500,000 shillings per day. If we expand our source of revenues collection so that we could get funds that will help in provision of important social services.
Mobile phone operator Vodacom has handed over prizes to customers in northern zone regions who have won cash prizes worth millions of shillings in the ongoing promotion called Mshandoto.
Tulikuwa na mshindi mmoja wa milioni 10, lakini pia tulikuwa na washindi 5 wa Smart TV, lakini pia tulikuwa na washindi 5 wa smartphone. Promotion hii itaendelea msimu wote wa sikukuu. Tunatakiwa kufanya ni kuhakikisha kwamba wanatumia huduma zetu za M-Pesa.
Mimi nimecheza Mshandoto na nimetimiza ndoto yangu. Kwani sikutarajia, nilicheza, nilifanya muamala, wakasema nachagua nyumba. Kweli nimefanya hivyo Jumapili, Jumatatu napigiwa simu saa 8 mchana Tumejishindia milioni 10 kutoka Vodacom.
Mama alikuwa anapiga kelele mpaka kama kulia vile, yani kama sio kweli, yani, lakini watu wajaribu kufanya miamala kwa kupitia M-Pesa, wanaweza wakapata zawadi.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows up next. Welcome back, and in sports news. The 4 swimmers who will represent Tanzania in the Australia World Championships have been given a big farewell by the National Sports Council as they pledge to perform well in the prestigious competition.
Nimejiandaa vizuri. Nilikuwa naogelea nao Ria Save na Sofia Latif. Mazoezi tumefanya kwa bidii asubuhi na mchana hivi. Kwa bado mazoezi yanaendelea mpaka tuondoke ile tarehe 8. Kwa sasa hivi tumepunguza kidogo ili tupumzike ili tufanye vizuri.
Mwenge Sports Academy, in association with the former Makongo Secondary School head Colonel Ed Kipingu, will run a youth football clinic for players between 8 to 18 years of age in different regions with the aim of developing talents in the country.
Uongozi kama uongozi tumejaribu kumuita Mzee Kipingu awe ni mlezi wa kituo na tumekubaliana.
The management decided to talk to Mzee Kipingu so he can be our guardian. Our first aim is to have a good hostel which we can use in finding talents from other regions. There are so many talents in other regions, even more than Dar es Salaam.
Yani kama mtu katoka Mbeya, katoka Mwanza, katoka Shinyanga, katoka Tabora, katoka Kigoma.
And Morocco has stunned Spain to reach the quarter-finals of the World Cup with 3 penalties to nil in the round of 16. The game ended with a 0-0 draw and headed to penalties after extra time, with the Morocco goalie Bono saving 2 penalties and 1 hitting the post. In a few minutes, Portugal plays Switzerland in the last game of the round of 16. Well, that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimwe. Thank you for watching and good night.
(9:30) and get updated on what is happening in Tanzania and around the world on political, social, and economic issues and events, without forgetting business and sports news. You can get it all right here on Capital News at 9:30 from Monday to Friday on Zuku Channel 067, Digitech Channel 1103, and Facebook Capital Television.
Sana mtazamaji wa ITV Super Brand Afrika Mashariki kwenye Jagina, kipindi kinachokupa nafasi ya kutazama vijana wajasiriamali kwenye nyanja moja ama nyingine. Naitwa Jaggy Boy Twalib Nasor. Ungana nami mpaka mwisho wa kipindi hiki. Mtazamaji, Jaggy Boy, leo niko eneo la Tegeta A. Nakutana na jamaa yangu Mtanzania mwenzangu kijana kutoka eneo la Posoposoa Hardware, si mwingine. Anaitwa Elias Mkelecha. Leo napiga naye story, nataka kujua vitu vingi sana kutoka kwake. Mambo vipi mzee?
Fresh brother.
Uko good?
Niko good bro.
Hongera kwa kupendeza.
Nashukuru sana.
Unajua kuna suit afu kuna cute. Yaani cute kimepitiliza, yani mpaka mwisho cute. Afu kuna suit kawaida. Mimi kama nimepiga hii ni suruali ya suit, lakini shati inaashiria kwamba na mimi ni mtu fulani. Hongera kwa suit nzuri pia.
Nashukuru brother.
Sawa. Mtanzania anataka kukufahamu kiundani kidogo. unaitwa nani, wapi umetokea, maisha yako yakoje? Kifupi.
Okay, nashukuru. Naitwa Elias Benedict Mkelecha. Ni mzaliwa wa Njombe. Njombe pale pale mjini kuna sehemu moja inaitwa Chogi. Ndio nimezaliwa pale na nimepata elimu yangu ya msingi Njombe Primary School. Nikapiga mpaka darasa 7. Nikafaulu kwenda form 1 ambapo naitwa na Mpechi Secondary School
pale pale Njombe.
Pale pale Njombe. Nika